Been back on a kick where I've been buying a lot more cologne fragrances again, and let's go over some of the better ones I've got lately that I've been enjoying. First up is Coconut Lagoon by Ministry of Oud from Paris Corner. And yeah, this one is great. Ross has been hyping this one up. He's the one that turned me on to this. Love this one. Really bright lemon off the top. There's a mandarin note off the top. You get those immediately, but you're getting coconut all throughout this, whatever. So it's like a sugary, citrus, front-heavy tropical fragrance. Yeah, I'm not sure what this is cloning. Maybe it's a twist on Creed Virgin Island water, but not really, because there's these a little bit of like a vanilla note in it. Kind of makes it like a gourmand as it dries down. And there's some apple and watermelon listed the notes, so you do get a little bit of like those notes don't stand out in particular, but you do get like actual fruits besides the coconut mixed in. And it's just like a sugary, sweet, creamy vanilla as it dries down mixed in too. So this thing's perfectly unisex to me, right down the middle. And performance on this is pretty decent for this kind of scent profile too, and I've been loving this one. I've been wearing this out of the shower sometimes in the evening, even though it's really cold here right now, and I've also been wearing it to the gym. It's cutting through the cold pretty decent, so yeah, I would highly recommend this one. And this is pretty unisex, like I said, right down the middle. If you're male or female, I think either you can get this off really easy. If you're a little bit hesitant on somewhat feminine scent profiles, if you're a male, this might steer you away, but it's really not that feminine at all. I think most people most men can pull this off pretty easy. So yeah, this is a great fragrance. Great job on this one. It's really fun. I'm going to tear this up this summer. Next up is Oud Holidays from Pendora Scents, which is a clone of Oud Island by Montal. Real nice fragrance. If you want like a tropical fragrance with a little bit of like a dark leathery oud note on it, this is the one. It's citrus, leathery, floral, synthetic sweet. It gets kind of creamy as it dries down. Opens fresh with a little leather in the fruits, and then kind of dries down into like a sunscreen type of fragrance. Got that sunscreen coconut type thing with some creamy woody notes, and gets a little bit powdering. It's really interesting. I've never smelled the original, so I don't know how close this is, but this works nice. This is if you want like a Oud holiday or a Oud vacation type scent, you know, in Europe they call it holidays. This is the type of scent profile for that or whatever. I think you could wear this year round, because I've been wearing it to the gym lately, and it works pretty good. It's fresh enough, but it's got dark enough with the like the oud leather notes. It's not really oud, it's more like leather notes. So the darkness with the freshness is kind of like a nice juxtaposition to kind of even it out. So I think you could wear this in all 4 seasons. And this is a fun scent again, and performance in this one's pretty decent too. It's cutting through the cold. It's really cold here, and I've been wearing it to the gym, and it's been working great. So yeah, if something like this sounds interesting to you, you like those solar notes and some white florals and a little bit of tuberose, some vanilla in it, and some nice sunscreen Italian lemon and tangerine and bergamot. Well, this is the one for you. Give us a try if that sounds interesting to you. It's dirt cheap, and performance is pretty decent on this. Unisex leaning masculine. Creed Viking is a scent profile I've worn quite a bit. I've got a lot of experience with it, and I love it. It's a classic sort of a barbershop fougere type fragrance, kind of like an elevated Old Spice from the old school days, but you know, a niche version of it. And I've tried a bunch of clones of it. I don't know why, but I've tried a bunch, and they always miss. There's this kind of like an animalic note that kind of comes into play, and I'm not sure what note that is, but that note's always missing. They're always kind of a little bit fresher and greener than the original, but this one here nailed it. This is Opulent Flame from Emir, and this one is almost dead on. I did a side by side, and it's really close. I was surprised. I just kind of got this one out of curiosity, because I've already got Viking, but I needed like one more to get free shipping, and I threw this in. I'd been curious about this one. It's awesome. It's spicy, fresh, woody, citrus, green. It opens and transitions almost identical, you know, 85, 90% to Creed. None of my other clones, I've tried a bunch of them too, have gotten that close or whatever. I've done Sensual Obsessions, I've done Dua, I've done Alexandria, I've done generic oils. I think I've even done Zoha Aroma, or a couple more. I'm not even sure what all ones I've done, but I've done quite a bit of them, and none of them have been as close to this one. And this is a great interpretation of it. Gives you the same feeling of that one, and I just love it. It's got a real nice citrus and peppermint off the top with some pink pepper, some of the orange, a little bit of rose, clove, jasmine, lavender, and orris. And then as it dries down, you start getting the sandalwood, tonka bean, musk, cedarwood, and vetiver. great job on this. Performance isn't the greatest, but I actually don't get the greatest performance on regular Creed Viking either. So I'd say this is a little bit worse than the original, but not far off. It's good enough. I've been wearing it this winter in the cold, and it seems to be performing good enough for me. I'm getting a good 6 hours. If I spray heavy or even longer than that and get it on my clothes. So yeah, I'm real happy with this one. This is really nice. It can really stretch what I got left of my Creed Viking. All right, the next one is just a clean barbershop pine forest type of scent profile. Love this scent profile. I've actually never smelled the original, but it's a clone of Russian leather from Memo Paris. This is Russ leather from Maison Alhambra. It's woody green. It's a Fougere style fragrance, spicy, leathery. Really nice scent profile. It kind of reminds you of like having shaving cream and shaving in the middle of a pine forest in Siberia. Yeah, I love this one. I have to get my nose on the original at some point. I do have another clone of it from Zoha Aroma, and it's really nice. It opens a lot different than this one, and smells a little bit different. I'm not sure which one I prefer even. They smell a little bit different. What I've read on this one, some people say like a lot of these clones that it misses the opening, goes right to the dry down. That's what a lot of these clones do. But some other ones are saying it's 1-to-1 all the way through, so I don't know what to believe. I do know I like this scent profile, and I probably got to get my nose on the original. If you like pine and you like Fougere style fragrances, this is great. I love this. And performance is excellent on this. Next one, Khalta from Lattafa. This is like a hidden gem. I hadn't heard of it, but this is super nice. I don't think it's really cloning anything. Closest side thing I could say is like if you took the One Mysterious Night and mixed it with like Side Effect from Initio, maybe a little bit of Andre Momad, and mix those all together, you'd come up with this. It's just really unique and well blended and smells expensive and great performance. I mean, it checks all the boxes. Great winter fragrance. It's sort of dark and mysterious, smoky, a little bit of booze, nice rose note in it, really nice rose note, and a little bit of oud. Yeah, just outstanding. It's floral, oriental, sweet, woody, spicy. It's got these leathery notes, vanilla, amber, and sandalwood. A lot of nice amber notes. The rose, cypriol, and frankincense and orange blossom really blended well. And then you got some cinnamon, lavender, and saffron and bergamot mixed into it. So it's just a super well blended fragrance, pretty complex, and a lot going on. And it transitions really nice. Yeah, this is great. Great for winter date nights and dressed up. You could wear this, and I've been wearing it just casual in the evenings after the shower, just relaxing, and I love it. It's a super nice fragrance or whatever that just, I haven't heard anybody talk about it. I'm sure it's out there and people know about it, just I didn't know about it. But yeah, I love this one. Great fragrance, especially for like $17. You can't beat it. All right, the next one is a clone of the Moon from Frederick Malle, which I still haven't smelled. Even the decants of it are really expensive. But I've got other clones of it. I'm not even saying this is the best clone of it I have, but I am saying this one's really great. I still like smelling like this. This is something I like smelling like. This is Maison Alhambra, the artist number 2, and this thing's like $20. All these Maison Alhambras are dirt cheap right now all over, especially on fragrance.net. So this thing's got the raspberry, lychee, and red currant and saffron right as you spray it. Kind of opens up fresh and fruity. And then there's some frankincense and Turkish rose all throughout of it, but that's in the mids. And then there's oud and leather at the base as it dries down, but you kind of get that right out of the gate too. So great fragrance, sort of like Andre Nomad, but not really. It's fruity, sweet, oud, leather, rose, some amber notes, some warm spices. It's fresh, it's woody. Beautiful fragrance. I love smelling like this. This is a great purchase, and the performance on this one is great. Recently discovered this scent profile and fell in love with it. So I got another Oud for Happiness clone from Initio. Infinity Oud Joyous from Maison Alhambra. It's got bergamot and ginger right off the top. Then you got this licorice note with oud and woods, cedar woods in the mids. And then as it dries down, you get these green notes, vanilla, and musk. And it's sort of like some fruity tones to it. It just gives me, just as the name implies, happiness. It just kind of gives me an uplifted, happy feeling when I smell this. So great name for a fragrance. And this is a pretty good interpretation of it. Again, this thing's like $17 I paid for this. And good performance on it. And pretty accurate clone of the DNA. It's not too far off. So yeah, I love this one. Performance is great on this one too. Got a bunch from Alexandria Fragrances lately. And I'm just going to go over the ones I like the best. They were all good, but these are the ones I like the best. First one is this Winter 2024. It's tobacco, vanilla, leather, and tropical. So it's got these tropical fruit fragrance notes on it. Like pineapple, a little coconut, mango, maybe some red fruits mixed in there, but just tropical fruits overall. And then tobacco, vanilla, and then there's a lot of leather. It almost comes off like an oud fragrance. So yeah, really well blended. The fruits and the leather notes and everything are really harmonious. So it's not too fruity. It's not too leathery. It's well balanced. And the closest thing I could compare this to is like Herba Oud from Suspiro, if you've ever smelled that. It's pretty similar to that. That's the closest thing I've smelled. It's sort of like Hashivat Oud too, but not as much so. But yeah, this is great. Really, it's its own thing, and it did a great job on this one. I think you could wear this almost all 4 seasons. Even on a summer night, I could probably wear this because of how tropical it is. But the darkness and the leather notes of it definitely make it a good winter. I mean, it's called Winter 2024, so I'm probably going to wear it the most in winter. But yeah, well-blended tropical leather fragrance. Love it. All right, Whiz John 71 is from the limited collection 71 2022 edition from Wijdan. So it's oriental, woody, spicy, smoky, and sweet. It's clearly an oud fragrance, but it's got these green notes that really balance it out. So you got the bergamot, coriander, and nutmeg right out of the gate. Then some nice smoky incense notes with oud, ambergris, and patchouli. Frankincense, white musk, and amber. Has this real alluring, mysterious scent profile to it, kind of like a James Bond type scent profile. I picture like a Chic wearing this, or maybe like James Bond wearing this when he's going out to dinner in the evening. So yeah, just a real nice, elegant scent profile. Love it. I have no idea how close to the original it is, but I know I love this. Joy to wear this. All right, the next one is called Coke Zero, and it doesn't claim to be cloning anything, but clearly it's cloning Tonka Cola from Mansera, and I love this. This one's awesome. This is a straight up banger here. It's really got a fizzy effervescence about it, with like a lemon cola feeling with a little bit of cherry. So it's a real effervescent lemon cola with cherry, which is pretty unique. It's a bubbling, sparkling effect that lasts for an hour or two. That bubbly, sparkling effect, and then it kind of settles in and gets got more like a flat Coke type of scent profile, which is still really nice. You get really nice cinnamon and red fruits with the lemon when you first spray it on, and the Coca-Cola note is present all the way throughout, real deep Coca-Cola note, and the patchouli, caramel, vanilla, amber, and tonka kind of round it out and come out more as it dries down. Just a well-crafted fragrance. I love this one. This is probably one of my favorites of all these I'm talking about from the Alexandria, these, whatever. I definitely would like to get a full bottle of this. If I work through this, I'll get a full bottle. It's as good as Mansera Tonka Cola. I don't know that it smells exactly like it. I have to get it out and do a side-by-side, but it's as good as that. It might be like a twist on the DNA. I didn't do a side-by-side, but either way, I love this one. All right, the next one is inspired by the Knight from Frederick Mall, and they call it Sahara Knights. Not sure how close the original is. I still haven't smelled the original of this, but I do have a bunch of clones, and this smells very similar to those, and outstanding. I love this fragrance. I love smelling like this. It's a rose oud fragrance with some amber, some warm spices, and some floral components added to it. Really nice fragrance, well blended. Performance on this is great. I just love smelling like this. Great job on this. The next one is an original. It's a Suede Pineapple, and I was afraid it was going to be too much like a Venice or a Hachivat, but it's not. It's probably closer to Hachivat, if anything, but not really. It's not really that close, which I'm glad. I'm just burnt out on a Venice and Hachivat. They're great fragrances, but I've just smelled those so many times. So you got the pineapple, lemon, and a nice mandarin orange note off the top, saffron, leather, and white florals, and then it has these amber mossy notes as it dries down. So yeah, it's just well blended, well crafted fragrance. Yeah, a lot of pineapple and a lot of saffron with a leather, and it does come off like a suede leather. The mossy notes are pretty predominant too all the way throughout. As it dries down, you start picking up some more of the white florals and the amber. So yeah, this is a well-crafted fragrance. This is one of the better ones too of all these Alexandrias I'm talking about. But I really like all of these. Every one of these I talked about, because I have about 10 more that I didn't talk about, and they were all good, but I just thought these were the best. So yeah, this is a great lineup of fragrances here. Alexandria is just killing the game, man. I love what they do. All right, I keep going back and forth on getting clone fragrances. I'll be on a kick where I really don't want any, because I feel like every time I get one, that there's 10 or 15% component missing, and that 10 or 15% is kind of important to me. So I'm kind of would rather just have the original, even if I just got to get a 10 milliliter. But then there's other times I'll get one that's like 95, 97% close. It's like, wow. And then I get a whole bottle for the whole price of what a decant of the original would cost. So I get to, live with this fragrance for a long while, as opposed to just going through a little decant. And I get a presentation in a box and all that. And a lot lot of these fragrance, especially these Middle Eastern ones, they kill it on presentation and bottles and atomizers and all that. So you get, you know, it's really a good value. And I get where some of these perfumers are coming from, because you can't copyright the scent profile. So their main cost is getting a perfumer to come up with this scent profile. You know, that's the biggest expense of it. You know, the ingredients and the bottling and all that is very little cost, but you got to pay the perfumer and have him, you know, work it all out and do his work to, you know, come up with the fragrance itself, and the creativity involved in that. And then these clone companies, they just come along and they just reverse engineer it. They put it in that machine, and it, you know, just reverse engineers it, picks out the notes, and they get another perfumer, and he just kind of blends them with the readings that machine gave them, and they just duplicate the fragrance. So it has to be frustrating if you're a you know, a perfumer or a fragrance house or whatever, and that's happening so easy. But on the consumer end, on my end of it, man, sometimes it's like these fragrances are just so outrageously priced. It's so nice to be able to get these budget alternatives. So yeah, there's a lot of conflict there, and I've been seeing a lot of interviews, like obviously you see like Louis Vuitton and all these places are coming after people that are, you know, that are calling them clones or cloning their fragrances and making them change bottles and all that. And I've watched a bunch of perfumer videos lately, and they're pretty mad about clones. They're talking about them. So one I just seen recently, go check out Steven at Red Essence. He did one recently with one of the main guys at Guerlain. Watch him. At the end of the interview, the guy kind of starts going into you know, clones and cloning fragrances. He kind of confronts Steven in a way. It wasn't really confrontational, but he brings up clones and kind of starts railing on how, you know, he don't like clones. So that made me think, you know, it's maybe a bit of a disruption in the fragrance, you know, because it has to be affecting sales for them to be so getting so mad about it and frustrated, right? And I see where they're coming from on that, but I don't know. Right now, I'm back on a clone kick. I'm really enjoying clones. So if you made it this far, like, subscribe, and comment. That helps the algorithm. And I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch.